All right, everybody, this is the continuation of our videos that we've been running on YouTube, but we're doing this one live. We have with us the designer of Andean Abyss, Volko Runke is with us. Thank you for being able to join us tonight, Volko.
Great.
And by the way, Volko, whenever you're keying your microphone, let it key it down for a little extra longer because we're losing the tail end of what you're saying.
Oh, that's good. That's usually the curse words.
Yeah. And we are recording this. I am not recording a Vassal log file. We're recording this on video exclusively. I will have a save game file at the end of this, but I'm not recording a Vassal log file. Here's the situation. For those of you that followed the Vassal videos, or the YouTube videos I posted earlier this week, the game has gone through one propaganda round. There's 2 more propaganda rounds to go. And currently, FARC is in a very strong position. If you look at the map, most of you may have seen the YouTube videos. If you hadn't, I recommend you take a look at them. I'm not going to cover the basics of the game as we did that in video number 1 of the YouTube video. But the situation at present is AUC has a lot of resources, more than I typically see them. They've actually got 12 resources. The FARC have 15 resources, which is putting them in a very strong position financially. Cartels have had a rough go of it because the government really smacked them hard early on, and so they're kind of languishing. And the government, for all its trouble, has run into a series of bad luck experiences, culminating in FARC marching into Bogota and agitating it to active opposition, which is putting FARC into a winning position. They would win the game if a propaganda card were to be pulled. Now, we've gone through, I want to say 11 cards, and so the next day, let's see, 11 or 16, so 5 more cards before a propaganda card could possibly show up again. So the government can't waste time going after FARC. So we're going to start things off right now. The first card, the card that is up for play right now, is Peace Commission. Whenever a card is played, you look at the top of the card. The left hand symbol dictates who is eligible to play on that particular card. So on this particular card, Peace Commission, FARC is up for eligibility. So FARC can go ahead and do something here. Looking first at the event. Remember, the first eligible player may choose to execute an operation only. They may execute a operation with a special activity, or they may execute the event on the card. So you can do op only, op plus special activity, or the event. Well, looking at the card itself, Peace Commission's event isn't terribly useful at the present because it mostly involves, for the FARC's benefit, placing a FARC zone marker onto the map. And they don't really need that right now. Volko, just to clarify, I'm pretty sure FARC zones are only for departments. That's correct?
Yes, that's right. You put it in, the government must put it in a department that's not yet a FARC zone, which has the most FARC pieces. It must be a department.
Yeah, I just thought for a second there it'd be very cool to put it in Bogota, but that would pretty much lock the game down for FARC. Okay, so they're going to do an operation here, and I think paramount importance is that FARC get a base established in Bogota. That will give them substantial staying power against the government. It's going to take some other faction to move in there to help the government get them out of Bogota if they have a base, barring any coincidences with the cards. Sometimes the cards will show up in a way that the government could possibly sweep and then do a massive assault to take care of the base too. But generally speaking, if a faction has a base and underground guerrillas, they're very difficult for the government to get out of a position. So we're going to go ahead and put pawns down here. They're going to rally guerrillas and establish a base. And looking at the available resources for FARC, they actually have 8 guerrillas available and 3 bases. Not many places to establish a new base, save Bogota itself. They'll want to establish one there. As far as putting a new series of guerrillas down, I think it might not be a bad idea to rally in Huila that allow them to put some... Huila is a very strategic location. It's central to several cities, and it's adjacent to the other two mountains. So I think we're going to rally there. And one more place. Oh, just for grins, let's go ahead and rally something up north. At least put some pressure on those locks. How about in Cesar? So that's going to cost 3 resources, so we'll just pay for those right now. Probably do some extortion as well, but let's see how things go. They're not worried about losing their FARC zone, so they'll go ahead and do a special action with this. First of all, in Bogota, whenever you rally, you can either place guerrillas or you could remove 2 guerrillas in order to establish a base. So that's what they're going to do in Bogota. And remember that for the FARC, they can only rally where they have opposition or neutrality in that space. And remember, you can never rally on locks, that sort of thing. So they're going to establish a base, and that's also going to increase the level of opposition plus bases up to 41, which is a ridiculously high number for FARC anyways. And then in Huila, they want to establish some new guerrilla presence there. So being that they have some available in their stock, what they're going to do is they're going to add guerrillas equal to the population plus the number of FARC bases there. So that's going to put 3 FARC guerrillas into Huila. So let's go ahead and get those guys up there. And I just get some reinforcements handy into the neighborhood to cause just more trouble for the government. And lastly, up in Cesar, there's nothing up there so far. There's no guerrillas, no bases. So the most they can do there is place 1 guerrilla. And remember, they can do that because there's no opposition or support marker, meaning the area is neutral. So they'll rally up there, and that immediately puts the 3-value locks adjacent to Ayacucho, puts those at risk to FARC moving on to it and kidnapping and or sabotage. So now we got to decide if we want to extort anywhere, and definitely want to extort in Huila. So we'll go ahead and mark one of those guys as active. And Guaviare, we can extort there. I don't think we want to extort anywhere else. So that's going to get 2 resources back for FARC. So that was a net cost of 1 resource for FARC. 3 to place rally in 3 different locations, and then they got 2 of those resources back by extortion. So they have taken their operation, they have taken a special activity with it. That leaves now the second eligible faction to execute the event or limited op. And the second eligible on the card is AUC. But looking at the next available card, the next card that's going to be played is Soldados, and that particular card has AUC as the first eligible. So let's go ahead and look at that one. The shaded portion of the text says, in up to 3 departments, replace 1 police with 1 AUC guerrilla. Otherwise, it says place 1 police in each of 6 departments. The event's not terribly useful one way or the other for either faction, either the government or AUC. But the AUC, by waiting until the next card, would have the operation, the ability to do an operation and a special activity, not just a limited op. The event on Peace Commission is completely useless to AUC. So, I'm going to say AUC passes here. And they'll pick up a resource for that. And that leaves the cartels. Do they want to do anything with this? The next card, they're going to be last eligible. They might as well do at least a limited op here. And the question is, what sort of a limited op do they want to do? Probably want to go ahead and rally in Putumayo. I think if they rally in Putumayo, that's a good move, because now they're in position to put a base down through rally and or cultivation. So they'll just do 1 rally operation, put a guerrilla into Putumayo, drops them down a resource. So that puts them ineligible on the next card, but like I said, it doesn't really matter, because the next card they're probably not going to get a chance to play. So they might as well play now while the playing's good. And now, since 2 factions have executed something on the card, The card is now complete. So Peace Commission is discarded. And we go ahead and reset the pieces. And yeah, you know, the situation in Bogota is such that FARC, or excuse me, the cartels may have wanted to rally there, but without the ability to ambush, there's not a whole lot they can do other than maybe terror operations. So maybe let's reconsider just that, because that may not be a bad move, because terror would at least move the level of opposition toward neutral. So let's just say that they go ahead and rally there. The cool thing about cartel faction is the cartels have the opportunity to rally pretty much anywhere. Opposition, support, that doesn't hinder the cartels from rallying. So they can usually get into places that's harder for the other factions. It's, as Volko says, it's unique to the cartels. So that'll end Peace Commission and brings up Soldados. And now FARC and the cartel, since they acted on the last card, are ineligible. And that leaves government and AUC available on Soldados. Now the next card, Oil Spill, is a government card. But we'll look at that in just a moment. AUC definitely wants to operate here, and they want to operate and take a special activity. If they were to march into Bogota right now, they could do so, but they would go active because of the, let's see, the cubes. There's 2 cubes, there's 2 guerrillas. I don't have the chart in front of me. I need to get my charts out. It's possible that they would go active there, being that the number of marching guerrillas plus the cubes plus the FARC guerrillas would activate them. So I don't think that that would be terribly helpful to anybody at this moment. So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and say they're going to do a terror operation, which is a way that they can smack the it's going to smack the FARC by taking out their bases. Because what they're going to do is they're going to terrorize and they're going to assassinate. And Mike, yeah, if the number of moving guerrillas plus cubes plus FARC guerrillas for AUC exceeds 3 or more, more than 3, then they're going to go active. So what we're going to do here is AUC is going to assassinate, and they're going to do it in every place that they can possibly do it. Guaviare, definitely Arauca. You do it in Putumayo. Makes the guerrilla there go active. I think it'd be better to set on them and leave them underground. That is the cost of terror, is it does make the guerrilla go active. So just to say 2 areas there, so it's going to cost 2 resources. And since they're going to assassinate, well, yeah, terror would take down opposition, but that's only going to bring down the FARC by 1. I don't know that that's worth the risk of that guerrilla just being underground. There is just a threat to take out 2 enemy pieces. So I would say we're just going to use the 2 there, because if I was AUC, this is what I would do. Arauca, I'd activate him, and we put a terror marker. Got to find one here. Well, yeah, hiding doesn't help against insurgents, but you got to be underground, Jeff, in order to do what do you call it, ambush. So say cartels want to place a shipment there, may want to ambush them and take that shipment from them. I'm very leery about activating my guerrillas unless it's absolutely necessary. So that's going to take down the level of opposition in Arauca. And then the assassination is going to remove 1 enemy piece. Now here's the cool thing about assassination, because we haven't done this yet. Actually, I got to stop the video here, so we'll catch up on assassination in the next video. Give me just a sec.